We're now going to look at annotation scales in AutoCAD 2010. Now we're in the Layout tab right now, and we've got a viewport here, as you can see in the blue there. If I hover over it, there's the viewport. That viewport is currently at a scale of 1 to 50. Now, if you look at the Layout tab there, it says it's an A1 sheet, it's landscape, and it's 1 to 50. Don't take that as proof of scale though. Double click inside the viewport. When you double click, it activates the viewport. Also, AutoCAD tells you down on the status bar that it's currently at 1 to 50. You can see the viewport scale there. I'm going to double click outside that viewport now in the grey area just to deactivate it. Now we're not going to be working in the Layout tab just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to create some dimensions in the Model tab. So I click on the Model tab. I'm going to zoom in on the house area here and bring that down a little bit like so. And we're going to place some linear dimensions. I'm going to go from this corner here to this corner over here. Now I need to just zoom out slightly there so I can get both corners. I then need to go to my Home tab, and I need to make sure that I'm on my dimensions layer. Now in this particular drawing we have two dimensions layers. You can see there we've got DIMS annotative and DIMS setting out. Select the annotative layer. The setting out dimensions are dimensions that you can delete or freeze. You don't actually need them to show on the drawing. So I go to the annotation panel here on the ribbon. There's my dimensions there. If I click on the down arrow, I want a linear dimension. Make sure your object snaps are on, and I'm going to click here on this corner, left click, all the way over here to this corner, left click, and there's my dimension. Now, that dimension at the moment looks kind of strange. There's no arrowheads, there's no text. Now the reason for that is this drawing is in millimeters, metric millimeters. The dimension has also been drawn in metric millimeters. And if you look down here at the bottom of the screen on the status bar, the annotation scale is currently at 1 to 1. So that dimension has been drawn at 1 to 1. So if I zoom in on this end here, you'll notice the little blue symbol there. That tells me it's an annotative dimension style. So if I zoom in now, look, you can actually see, look, there's an architectural tick there. It's just extremely small because it's been drawn at 1 to 1. So what we need to do now is we need to change the annotation scale in the drawing because we know the viewport's at 1 to 50, and then we need to change the annotation scale of this dimension. So I go down to the status bar, click here, and select 1 to 50. Notice the dimension changes. Now the reason it changes is these settings here. I've got annotation visibility and also add scales. It's this one here. It shows the annotative objects for all scales. So I've made it 1 to 50, it's sized it up by 50. The reason for that is when I go and look here now in the Layout tab, there's my dimension, all scaled and neat and tidy. Now I'm going to go back to the Model tab, going to place one more dimension, which is going to be my driveway width here. So again, linear dimension. 1 point there, 1 point there, and I'm just going to move that up. Now because we've got that set to 1 to 50, it draws that dimension at the appropriate annotation scale straight away. Now what we're going to do now is just quickly check the properties of those two dimensions, just to check that they are annotative. So I click once here and once here. I right click and go to Properties on the shortcut menu. And if we look now, they are annotative. It says in miscellaneous here. They are annotative and they are at 1 to 50. So that is using your annotation scales in AutoCAD 2010. What it does is it scales dimensions, blocks, hatch patterns in the drawing so that they work with the appropriate viewport scales in the Layout tabs. We'll look at that later on in this course.